What's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about a hit film that came out in 1991 that definitely addressed the issues that were happening in South Central LA at the time with gangs, with violence. A great film. The movie I'm, of course, referring to is Boyz in the Hood, starring Cuba Gooding Jr., Ice Cube, Lawrence Fishburne, Angela Bassett. Basically, in this movie, the concept is that Cuba Gooding Jr. is a child who ends up misbehaving. He's under the custody of his mom and ends up going to live with his dad in South Central LA. And where his dad lives isn't the safest place. There's a lot of gang violence and violence in general. But his dad, Lawrence Fishburne, um, chooses to raise him with the sense of knowledge over violence and basically installs, he gets street sense from the people around him, like Ice Cube and his other friends, including this guy here. I totally forget what his name is. But um, Lawrence Fishburne is always telling him to stay in school, get an education, so that he can better himself to get out of where they're at. And in this movie, you see Cuba Gooding Jr. It flashes forward to 1991. It starts out at 84, I think, and you see like Ronald Reagan. You see like them going to look at a dead body, and then it flashes forward to them as teenagers, I believe in their late teens, early 20s, and Ice Cube's part of a gang, basically. Cuba Gooding Jr. is his best friend. They've grown up together. This guy here is Ice Cube's brother, and he is on his way to becoming a football pro, basically going to university, being scouted for football, but he has to pass his test in order to get into the university. Ice Cube basically is a dropout and spends most of his time at home or going out with his friends, showing off his car and listening to music and shooting people and doing random stuff like that. But the impact of this movie shows how Ice Cube will always, or families back then would always stand up for each other. You have the story of the brother basically, while he's pursuing getting his football scholarship, you have Ice Cube getting in a lot of shit. And it shows the aspect of them going to barbecues and people playing dominoes and all their friends. And you have Ice Cube's mom, who is played by Angela Bassett, who basically doesn't want his brother to end up in the same path that Ice Cube has taken. Ice Cube's been to jail numerous times. The barbecue was actually a welcome back party for Ice Cube. You see one of the kids that earlier on in the movie they grew up with, now in 1991 in a wheelchair. So you definitely see what's taken place over the years, and you see a lot of violence. You see gunshots going through Lawrence Fishburne's door, and how the police react. Their reaction time took about a half an hour to an hour to react to this happening. You also see Cuba Gooding Jr. Falling in love with Nina Long's character, and the relationship they have. He wants to be respectable to her, but at the same time, he wants to keep his street credibility with his friends. It all comes down to a crashing halt at the end. Basically, spoiler: the brother of Ice Cube ends up getting shot. Ice Cube and Cuba Gooding Jr. or Ice Cube's going to avenge his brother's death by killing off the gang, or the guys that have shot his brother. And Ice Cube Cuba Gooding Jr. has to decide whether he's going to go with him or stay back and try and work out what he's going through without using violence. And it's very interesting. It's definitely shows the perspective of what was going on back then. It's also interesting at the end they show basically the brother ends up dying off, and Ice Cube's character comes to Cuba Gooding Jr. and it's like, I don't have a brother anymore. And Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character is like, you do still have one brother left. And then there's like these, it basically tells you what happens after the film. Ice Cube ends up dying 2 weeks later. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character ends up going to a university, and Nina Long's character ends up at a university close by him. So Cuba Gooding Jr. ends up getting out of this situation, but all his friends in the movie end up either dead or in jail. And it's a very, very good movie, definitely worth checking out. And if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest checking it out. It is one of those movies that will definitely open your eyes to what was going on in South Central at that time. So you guys let me know what you guys think about this movie. Leave a comment below. What's your favorite part? What do you think about the characters in this movie? Like I said, just leave a comment below about that. If you could give me a thumbs up below as well, that would be amazing. If you haven't hit me up on Twitter yet, I'll leave the link below. And if you haven't checked out my other videos, definitely go and check those out as well. I have multiple other videos as well. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, it just takes a second. Just hit the subscription button below. I really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next video.